Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. It's been a while, taking a bit of a break from YouTube, but I'm super excited to be back with some FPL content, which has honestly been giving me life this season. You'll notice I don't have Yelena here today. I have my good friend Mira, and we're always talking about her on this channel anyway, so I figured we need to get her on, so what better time? So Mira, thanks so much for joining me. I'm super happy to finally get you on the channel.
Oh, likewise, Ellie. Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, it's a pleasure to be here, especially because whenever I watch your streams, it's always nice to kind of get a bit of a shout out as well. So I really do appreciate it.
So I feel like we have so much to talk about, so let's just get right into it. Obviously, there's a lot of talking points with game week 21, and honestly, I am super lost, so I'm going to use this as a bit of a therapy session to get your thoughts, to see what the people watching think as well, because my team is looking pretty shambolic at the moment. So I'll just show you guys, this is what my team is looking like, and there's just a ton of flags. Um, so
Oh boy.
I have Trent, who is confirmed to be out. Obviously, Son and Salah are out. Bowen is seemingly out as well. And then I have flags on the bench. So this is looking like pretty dire. Mira, like, how would you fix
Wow.
my team? Is that too broad of a question? Like, maybe we should start from the back and work our way forwards. What do you think?
Well, can I firstly say that I captain Trent as well.
Oh
And
my God, I'm so
I'm so
upset.
annoyed. I'm so
I'm so
annoyed. I think I was trying
upset.
to be cute by captaining Trent. I thought maybe it'll be a really good fixture.
I
And
know.
yeah, so I captained Trent in the last game week as well. So yeah, I see that your captaincy hasn't shifted just yet. Mine hadn't either. I've not really looked at, what the bus team is going to properly look like yet. But yeah, no, I feel your pain. Um yeah, it's tough. I'm actually in the similar boat to you at the moment. So I've got Trent, that's an issue. I've also got Son, Salah, Bowen. I don't have that issue yet, but I'll come back to that because Bowen was supposed to be my transfer, and yeah,
Okay.
so I'm kind of annoyed about that. I've got Taylor as well, and yeah, so I'm actually in a similar sort of boat to you. So I feel like it's going to be a two-way therapy session.
So
But I would
yeah.
hold on to Trent because it seems like Trent's only going to be out for one. Oh, it looks like Trent's going to be out until the 31st of or 30th of Jan, which is only one game week, technically speaking, because game week 21 is 2 weeks long. So I would hold Trent. So yeah, that's what I'm planning to do at the moment. I think for me, it's probably going to be Salah or Son that comes out at the very least. And the thing is, I want to bring back Salah. So this is where I'm a bit stuck as well. Um, so Son obviously is out for Asia Cup, Salah obviously out for AFCON. They're probably going to be out more or less the same sort of time frame, probably like second week of February or so.
Mhm.
I think that's like game week 24, maybe game week 24, but game week 25 at the very least. We know that Salah is probably going to, or Liverpool have a double potentially in game week 25. So that is an opportunity to actually hold on to Salah if we wanted to. But the problem is, it could be that he doesn't come back that soon either, and that's a lot of money
Mhm.
to have on the bench
Mhm.
as well. So, yeah, I'm not too sure what to do with that. Whereas with Son, in my case especially, I don't know how much value you've got sort of built up in Salah and Son, but in my
Mhm.
case, I don't have that much value in Son because I brought him in quite recently. So yeah, I would think about like removing because the thing with Bowen as well, we don't know how long. I mean, it looks like he's going to be out for a month. So do you want to remove Bowen when like the next fixture after game week 22 fixture? I think is a good fixture as well. So they've got Sheffield going into game week 21, but I think after that they've got Bournemouth or something like that. So I don't know. Like it's a tricky one. Like I feel like you've got to remove the red flags over the amber flags at the moment. is my sort of gut feel at the moment.
The
Yeah,
thing is with Bowen, I have so much money in him because I
yeah,
got on him ages before anybody else. So I think I have I don't know, at least like 0.4, 0.5 mil difference or something like really crazy. So
yeah,
super, super hesitant to sell Bowen because he's been a great asset for me. And then I don't want to lose like all of the money that I spent. And if we're looking at maybe a week or two that I can get away with him being on my bench, one of the thoughts I had was potentially bringing in a Estupinian back into the team, maybe bringing him in for like a Taylor.
you love him.
I do love him. I don't like what is with me and this guy. Like,
So I brought him back in last game
he's
week.
okay, so he's like my FPL asset. Um, so I was thinking about bringing him back in so that at least I have like that back three covered, and then I have 2 free transfers this week, so I could even make
Oh,
three and it would
that's
only
great.
be
Yeah.
4, which would be super positive as well. So I was personally thinking about doing like a Trent or a Taylor for Stupinian, and then I was gonna do Son to Foden. But that still leaves me with 2 spots, one if I play Archer missing.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing to play Archer though. Like at least because Archer's not an issue right now.
Mm.
Completely agree about like you absolutely need another defender to be playing. Like what do we is Pau Torres is still out?
I'm gonna double check because I haven't. I'll check like the fantasy flag. He's still flagged in fantasy, 75% chance of playing. I guess we should hear something in the press conferences coming up, like before the game week. But yeah, I'm still kind of like holding on him because I was really excited about bringing him in as well.
Yeah. Can you go Son to Foden? Like if I was making the moves, I'd probably do Son to Foden and then do Taylor in that case if you want to hold on to Pau Torres and then do Taylor to Estupinian. You should have enough money to do that, right?
Yeah, let me see if I can just share my screen with you guys so that you can see exactly what we're doing here. So if I do this and then I do that, that should work. Or maybe perhaps you want to see us a little bit bigger. So yeah, I can do Taylor to Estupinian, and then I can do Son to Foden, and I have plenty of money for that.
Yeah.
So that's what
How
my team is.
crazy. How
What?
crazy. So many flags, like seriously, at the moment. And everyone, it feels like everyone's in a similar boat though, at the moment.
I know. It's just like super frustrating. So then I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then potentially Bao coming back. It seems that his injury wasn't super serious, so he could potentially be back, and that would be 11. So I think I honestly might just do that. But I don't know
Yeah.
about Salah. Like, I don't. Are there any other midfield options that like stick out to you that you're thinking of?
So at the moment, I'm thinking about bringing Haaland back in for game week 22 potentially. And if I do that, I'm going to have to sell Salah. And so I think Salah's going to go down in price as well. So if that happens, um, when I started to plan a little bit ahead, my budget is really, really tight just because my team value is not very good at all. So I would have to sell Salah, bring in Haaland, which means if I sell Salah, I'd have to go for like a super cheap player like Garnacho. Like, not that I want to go to a United player, but I'd probably have to go down to Garnacho. Ideally, I'd be going for like a Pascal Grosch or something like that. So that is an option as well. Maybe even Eze, but Eze's got Arsenal coming up. in the next fixture, so not too sure about that. But the fixtures after that look okay for Palace. But if I had to pick now, I'd probably go Garnacho just to kind of free up the funds to bring in Haaland, because I've got Solanke, Alvarez, and Watkins. So you've got Archer at the moment, so you're already
Yeah.
down to your cheaper player in the front line. But I've got like 3 players that I'd have to drop one of them anyway. So yeah, so like with my team, I've got 1 free transfer. And I'd take out like Son probably, just because, yeah, I don't have that much value in him. But I am tempted to take out Son and Salah and take a hit this game week, just because with the price drops, I really don't have much room. If I want to sort of bring in good players rather than sort of just
Mhm.
dropping down to even cheaper than 4.8 mil, like Garnacho is 4.8 mil, who would you go for a cheaper option than that, right? Like there's not many. And so, and I want to hold on to Trent for a little bit longer, just because if Liverpool double in 25, I'd rather hold on to him than they blank in 26. And if that happens, then sure, I can get rid of, Trent and drop him down to, a cheaper defender option, and then maybe upgrade Richarlison to bring Son back in by game week 26 or
Mhm.
something like that. I'm not sure, but yeah, I would either way. I reckon I'd have to sell Son and Salah, because I'd have to upgrade one of my. I'd have to downgrade actually, so I'd have to downgrade Solanke eventually, and I'd have to upgrade Alvarez to Haaland if I want Haaland back. And so there's just way too many unknowns at the moment. Too many unknowns.
It's really difficult, and I was thinking like I really don't even want to part with Solanke because like for me he was just
Right.
like a replacement option while Haaland was out injured, but he's been doing really well. So now I find myself trying to figure out, oh, is there a way that I can keep Solanke in the team as well as Haaland?
Yeah.
So it's like quite interesting. Have you thought about somebody like a Timo Werner who's coming in for Spurs side, 6.5 mil?
Yes and no. I was like deliberating around that. Like I've got Richarlison obviously in the team at the moment.
Yeah.
I think the thing that worries me a little bit is Werner going to take minutes off of Richarlison? Don't know. It's probably too early to say what that looks like, right? But then he's over on a loan, and I think I was listening to some a podcast or something where they'd mentioned that surely Werner is back in, like, well, he wants to get the minutes, right? Because he's not getting minutes at the moment. And so he's probably going to play. Whose spot is he going to be taking if he does play? And if that does happen, like, what does that mean for Richarlison? What does that mean for even like Johnson or even, Kulusevski as well? So yeah, it's really hard to know at the moment. I think we'll have to watch a couple of games to kind of work that out, which is why I'm open to the idea of dropping Richarlison to bring Son back in eventually.
Yeah.
But right now, the way I'm looking at it is I'm trying to deal with the problems that I've got right now, rather than sort of, like make luxury transfers and things like that. Like I just can't. Like when you've got, like, I've got Trent as an issue, Son as an issue, Salah as an issue at the moment. So yeah, I'm going to have to just kind of work out what to do there. But yeah, it's probably just going to be one transfer for me, and then just suck it up and just hope for the best, basically.
It's
Because I know I'm going to have to take a hit next game week, in game week 22. I'm
yeah.
going to have to take a hit if I really want Haaland back. And that's the thing. I don't know, because we don't know where Haaland's at as well.
And Pep isn't gonna like divulge so much information either. What do you
Exactly.
say like to the people I think a lot of people are in a similar position where maybe you have 9 or 10 players playing, but you're not fielding a full starting 11. I've seen a lot of people considering wild carding in this game week. So what are
Yeah.
your thoughts on that?
I actually don't think it's a bad idea. I think like there's a lot of people who have probably worked out their chip strategy moving forward, for the last sort of 18 game weeks that we've got left, or 17 game weeks that we got left also. And the thing is, I was initially thinking about wildcarding in around like game week 30 or something like that. I would then, consider things like triple captaincy for game week 25, just because if Liverpool are doubling, they've got a really good double. It's probably going to be Luton and Brentford as well. So there's like opportunity there to triple captaincy then. which means, you could wildcard after that, like shortly after that. Then there's a blank in 26, so probably after that. So anywhere between like 27 to 30 is actually a really good time. A lot of people leave it till later as well. But I actually don't mind it for now, because if we look at all the issues that we've all got, like the combination of issues that most people will have with Trent, with Bowen, with Son, with Salah, some of the other defenders, being out as well, then it's actually not a bad idea to wildcard right now. It's just, how far are you going to be able to plan ahead? Like, you'll probably want to hold Salah, right? And you'll probably want to bring in Haaland in that case, both of which we don't know. So we don't know when Salah's going to be back. Could be 24, might be 25. Haaland, will he be back for 22? We don't know.
Exactly. It's so
So
hard.
wildcarding now, although appealing because of the issues, you might find yourself in the similar sort of position as well. So it really depends how bad your team is. It's not such a bad idea to do like a mini wildcard and just take a couple of hits as well, just so that you can, just because like there's going to be so many hits flying around right now.
Yeah. That's a thing. Like, I think a lot of people have pretty similar teams, so people are going to be like more or less in the same boat. So for me, if I can field like 10 players this game week, it's not ideal, but I'll be more or less happy with that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep playing around to see, but I think I'm like pretty set in that. And like, who are you thinking about captaining? I can't speak this week because it's wide open. So
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you about this actually, because I'm thinking about captaining Palmer, but I'm
ooh,
also very hesitant about captaining
let's
Palmer as
let's
well.
change
Like, I'm
that.
definitely on the fence, just because I don't know if it's recency bias, and it was kind of recency bias with like captaining Trent, right? Because he did really well in game week 19, captained him in 20, nothing happened in 20, literally 0 points in 20. And obviously Palmer did really well in game week 20. And so I'm like, do I captain Palmer just because they're playing Fulham? Fulham are not, I mean, they've not been terrible. They've been okay, but they're not that great defensively either. And I was looking at some stats around, I think they've been conceding a lot from the center as well. So depending on Palmer's sort of positioning, it could be a really good opportunity to captain Palmer. He's on form as well. But my other captaincy pick was Saka, so who is kind of like, I'm not sure where he's at the moment. Like, he's not playing that well as well, and so there's opportunity there. I mean, again, Palace have been pretty. They've not been that great down Saka's flank anyway, so it makes sense, to captain Saka. I think that will probably be the highly owned and the most obvious captaincy choice. But from a form point of view, Palmer seems to be a bit more on form, and so I'm undecided. So I was hoping to ask you to kind of get a feel on vibes around
Oh,
how Chelsea's doing.
it's really hard because I think like in the Chelsea side, like Cole Palmer definitely looks like the player who's one nailed on, but two most likely to score. But the problem is that you just don't know like kind of which Chelsea side is going to turn up, because we have times that we play well, we have times that we don't play so well. We're just like really inconsistent, and you even see that over the course of a game. Like maybe we'll have a really
Yeah.
good first half, and then the second half is really poor, or vice versa. And midweek, Cole in the EFL semifinal, Cole Palmer was actually playing as like a striker, false nine type thing.
Mm,
And he had two or three big chances that he missed, which is like pretty unlike him. Um, so it just depends, because it's really hard for me to even know like who's going to start, because Poch has been changing it every week. Like sometimes we have Modric and Sterling and Madueke now, and
mm.
Palmer, Gallagher can kind of play across as well, Broya as well.
Yeah, true.
Um, so he's kind of been playing all over. So I don't even know who he's going to be starting. Like I would think that he would go back to the
Mm,
right hand side, and that you'd have Broya starting, given that he was rested midweek. So it could be interesting, but I'm just like so hesitant on Chelsea. Like it's either going to be like fantastic or nothing. you know.
Yeah.
So I think it's risky. It could pay off. But I'm just like kind of weary of Chelsea at the moment. But we haven't been playing so well, and he's been getting points. So
Yeah.
it could be a potentially good shout.
Yeah. What are you thinking then?
I
I'm
was
so
like,
nervous about my captaincy picks now. Like I've had really bad captaincy picks.
that's been like the killer for me this season, honestly. Like I've had really, really bad captaincy picks. I'm so gutted because like I got a very tiny red arrow last week, but if I had picked Salah as captain, I would have like shot up.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced on Saka. Like I just don't think his form has been there. I just have a gut feeling about him. So I think I'll
Mm.
probably avoid. So I think I would realistically be between Watkins, Palmer, and then the other option. Well, Man City played Newcastle, but Newcastle have been
Yeah.
well, so maybe if you even have like a Foden or Alvarez, that could be like a wild shout as
Yeah.
well. Newcastle haven't been playing so well, so that maybe I would go for like a Foden. So realistically, I'm in between maybe like Foden, Palmer, and Watkins.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. No, I like it. I like the Alvarez shout actually, because like you say, Newcastle have been leaky even at home. And usually Newcastle have been pretty good, playing at home, but not so much recently. So
Mhm.
yeah, Watkins, I don't know, he's dropped off a little bit, hasn't he, as well?
He has, so that's kind of why like if you look at the fixture, I think it's Everton away. So it could go either way. Everton have been playing pretty well. They've been pretty sturdy in defense. Um, so I think I might just go rogue, honestly.
Yeah,
And
it's going to be a last minute thing, isn't it?
it's gonna be a last minute thing. I think I'm gonna go for like I don't have Alvarez, but I think I would go for like a Foden because I'm 99% sure I'm bringing him in, or a
Yeah.
Palmer. And probably I'll go for Foden just because, like, being a Chelsea fan, if Cole Palmer doesn't do well and then he's my FPL captain, it's like a double whammy. uh,
Yeah. I
but
was just
yeah,
I was
I
just
don't
going to
know.
look at how early the fixtures are. So, obviously, game week 21 is spanning over 2 weeks, right? And so, Chelsea, it looks like they're the second game of the game week.
Yeah, so
So,
wow.
yeah, not sure how I feel about that. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't
What's the
know.
last games? What's the last few games? Okay, where's Villa? Villa's playing on. Why
Sunday the
can't I find?
14th.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
wow. Yeah.
mid. This is
Yeah,
funny.
halfway through. That could be good.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But let us know down in the comments, guys, like which captaincy you're gonna go for, because I feel like it's gonna be kind of like a last minute decision from me. But I think that we've gotten basically to everything. This has at least cleared my mind a little bit in terms of what I'm thinking about, where I'm gonna go with it. So yeah, I hope that it's been useful for you guys watching. And Mira, thank you so, so much for joining me. It's been long overdue. And let everybody know where they can find you.
Thank you so much for having me. You can find me on X at FPL Mares 8 on X, and I'm also on YouTube doing my own show on YouTube as well. Again, FPL Mares 8 on YouTube as well. So thanks again for having me, Ellie. It's been great.
Nice. Guys, make sure to sub to Mira's channel. She does these amazing streams and really has a lot of cool content. And I think that our styles are very similar in terms of like we're more relaxed in how we approach the game, which I always appreciate as well. And while you're at it, consider subbing to the channel. Sorry, I've been absent, but I'm hoping to get more content out. I got a new phone, so I'll be able to like record things now as well. But let us know what your plans are for the game week. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, evening, whatever time you're watching this. And until next time, we're out. Bye.